In the headlines, without me, Buhari wouldn't have become president, says Tinubu. Reactions trail emergence of two sons of Chief Justice in Bauchi primaries. Suspended Accountant General released from EFCC custody. And on the foreign scene, Indian officials meet acting Foreign Minister of Afghanistan to discuss bilateral ties. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. One of the frontline presidential aspirants of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says he led a political struggle that produced President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Tinubu made the comment on Thursday while addressing party delegates at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Tinubu also categorically said he nominated Professor Yemi Osinbajo as Buhari's running mate, and about his role in the election of Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, saying with his political experience in the last 25 years, he deserves to be given the chance to lead Nigeria. Tinubu was in company of Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his Kano counterpart Umar Ganduji, and former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima. Now, mixed reactions have continued to greet the emergence of two sons of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Muhammad Tanko, as candidates for Bauchi North on the platforms of the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party. Adam Imam takes a look at the divergent views of Bauchi residents on how the two candidates emerged as their party's flag bearers. The report.
In Bauchi, many political parties have conducted their primary elections for the State House of Assembly, National Assembly, as well as governorship seat across the 20 local government areas of the state. Although the election have come and gone, what has refused to go with the election is how the two sons of the Chief Judge of Nigeria, Muhammad Tanko, who won both in the All Progressives Congress APC and People's Democratic Party PDP respectively. Ibrahim Muhammad Tanko, who is the elder brother, won the senatorial seat of Bauchi North Senatorial Zone under the platform of APC with 179 votes, defeating the incumbent Senator Bulkachua, who scored 0 votes, while the junior brother Sani Muhammad Tanko won the House of Representative ticket for Gyade Shira Federal Constituency by defeating other contestants to also emerge winner under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. However, based on the outcome of the primaries, many people, especially supporters of both parties, are of the view that the victory of the two sons was as a result of their father's influence, despite not being a politician himself.
I cannot say that they voted because of the influence of their father. They voted because of their good behaviors of those people. As I know, if there is any problem with them, they cannot vote them at the same house like that.
Corroborating this position is Adamu Muhammad Jahun says credibility and the need to deliver effective representation led to the outcomes of the primaries. Senator Bulkachua is nowhere to be found. Since he was elected, he thought delegates or party stalwarts are like before, that you could swear with money. Not anymore. The narrative has changed. I think the outcome of the election is a lesson to all participants that they should deliver democratic dividends to the peoples they represent or get kicked out. Haji Arabi, a woman leader, dispels rumors that financial inducement determined the outcomes of the polls elections.
They are the kind of people we need in our constituency and especially in Bauchi State. For us, financial inducement during elections no longer holds sway because our electorates are wiser now. My opinion is that they have the right to aspire to whatever height they want. After all, the incumbents have nothing to offer the electorates.
Their personality and their degree of human relation with people or their community is what I can refer to as the contributing factor of their success.
Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And Borno State PDP governorship candidate Muhammad Ali Jajari has vowed to end one-party system in the state if elected. The party flag bearer said PDP is ready to challenge and unseat the incumbent governor Umar Zulum in next year's election. He said he will focus on insecurity, power and nepotism in the state if given the chance. Jajari, who debunked claims that the PDP is involved in anti-party activities with the ruling party, described such insinuations as mere sentiments meant to sabotage PDP's existing chance of winning the 2023 polls.
Global insecurity is still threatening a lot of things. Secondly, to make sure all the sacked employees, government public employees, returned back to their service. And the third one is that there should be contracts, awards done by reputable companies, not family business. Well, they're using the term direct labor, but everybody knows it's not direct labor. It's contract given to cronies, family members, and associates. And that's why most of the contracts that are done are expired within a short period of time. There's so many ways to generate power. I really do not see anything he's doing that is so impressive. Nothing. Anybody, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
There are so many sentiments in respect to how the ruling party have so many moles in our party that work for them. But with this development, you have one party, PDP. Our house now is in order, and we are preparing to take over power from APC come 2023. They have been using the IDPs for elections to win elections. Now they themselves are the one who returns those IDPs back. So from all indication, we are taking over. Plus this newly enacted electoral act, we are very hopeful. All those monkey business in election process will no longer be there. We win election. Everyone is having enough with the APC.
Now, politics in the country has been reduced to a game for the highest bidder, where only the corrupt thrive while Nigerians wallow in abject poverty. A former Kwara APC governorship aspirant, Alhaji Yakub Gobir, stated this shortly after decamping to the Young Progressives Party, YPP, in Ilorin. According to him, the obscene monetization of electoral process is part of a grand design to scheme out the upright and competent from participating in the governance of the country. On his reasons for seeking YPP's governorship ticket, Gobir said he has since resolved to deploy his resources to prepare the youthful segment of the society to effect change through his party.
2019 elections that ushered in the current APC government at both the state and federal levels. Yet, I must confess, I have become disillusioned with Nigeria's leadership selection process. Our democracy is an expensive and inefficient exercise which has been hijacked by money bags in an illegitimate process that cannot produce a legitimate outcome. It is a need to be on the right side of history that explains my decision to leave the All Progressives Congress and to deploy all my resources and God-given talents to build a platform for young men and women to express themselves, to vote and to be voted for, and more importantly, to take charge of their own destiny. That platform is the Young Progressives Party.
Meanwhile, Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Delta State, Olisa Efiejiaka, says Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State is capable of occupying the seat of President of Nigeria with his performance and contributions to national politics. The Chief Press Secretary stated this in response to remarks by an analyst on a TV program referring to Governor Okowa as unfit to be considered as PDP's vice presidential candidate. Addressing journalists at Government House Asaba, the CPS said Governor Okowa has the requisite experience not only to be vice president, but president, as he has demonstrated in different capacities. Ifejiaka berated the analyst for spreading falsehood about the development of Delta State under the leadership of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa.
Ifeanyi Okowa has it to even be the president of this country, but for somebody to think that he's not qualified to be the vice president of this country because of not being a national person, of course we know that that is malicious. That comment was very, very malicious. Osibanjo, who is now vice president, the best he has in politics was commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of Lagos State. Okowa, for all intents and purposes, was a commissioner in Delta State for 8 years. He became Secretary of State Government for 4 years before becoming a senator. Before now, not much was done, particularly in the coastal areas, the riverside, where people are really going through tough times. But Okowa braved it, went into the interior of the riverside and constructed roads. It's on record that we have 20.8 kilometers of road inside the water.
Now, two daughters of the recently murdered former commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC, Zakari Umar Kibu, have regained freedom from their captors. Gunmen had on Sunday stormed Umar Kibu's residence in Azuba Bashai, Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State, and abducted his children after killing him. The Nasarawa State Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Rahman Nansel, on Wednesday confirmed their release. He said the children were rescued due to the pressure mounted on the kidnappers, who were hiding in the mountains in Egon local government area of the state. He said the victims had been reunited with their family after undergoing medical examination. When asked whether a ransom was paid to secure their release, the PPRO said the command had no knowledge of such. However, a family source said 30 million naira ransom was paid to the kidnappers before the children were released. Suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, has been released by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC spokesperson, Wilson Ujaren, who confirmed this on Thursday, said Idris was released on bail from the custody of the Anti-Graft Agency on Wednesday night in Abuja and has since been reunited with his family. Idris was arrested by the operatives of the EFCC on May 16, 2022 over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come on the news, caring for the elderly. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now a look at our top stories. Without me, Buhari wouldn't have become president, says Tinubu. And reactions trail emergence of two sons of Chief Justice in Bauchi primaries. And moving on to other news now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has scheduled the hearing of the extradition proceedings initiated against the suspended Assistant Commissioner of Police, Abakari, by the federal government for Friday. Justice Inyang Eko chose the date on Thursday to enable the Attorney General of the Federation file a formal response to Kyari's notice of primary objection, challenging the competence of the extradition application filed by the AGF. The AGF applied to the court for permission to surrender Kyari to authorities of the United States in relation to his alleged link with international fraud suspect Abbas Ramon, also known as Hush Puppy. Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has closed its case against a former governor of Plateau State, Jonah David Jang, and a former cashier in the office of the secretary to the state government, Yusuf Pam. The case, which was before Justice C.L. Dabup of the Plateau State High Court sitting in Jos, was closed after the commission presented 14 witnesses and tendered several exhibits. Jang and Pam are facing trial for alleged criminal breach of trust and misappropriation of Plateau State funds to the tune of 6.3 billion naira. After the prosecution closed its case, the defendants were expected to open their defense on Wednesday. However, their legal team, led by Mike Ezekome, informed the court of their decision not to do so. Rather, Ezekome is inviting the prosecution to address court within 14 days and hopes to reply in 10 days, while the prosecution has another 5 days to reply on point of law. Thereafter, the judge adjourned the matter to the 1st of July for adoption of final written addresses. Still on legal matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the interim forfeiture of assets linked to a former Director of Finance and Accounts in the Federal Ministry of Health, Anthony Hassan. Justice Zainab Abubakar gave the order while ruling on an ex parte motion brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The judge also directed that the interim forfeiture order be published in national dailies for anyone with interest in the properties to show cause within 14 days, why it should not be forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. The university, built by Anthony Hassan, was suspected to have been built with proceeds of unlawful activities traced to its owner. The physical assets of the university forfeited, including the Senate building, ICT building, Faculty of Medicine building, Science building, 2 academic buildings, a faculty hall, and other buildings. Other assets forfeited were the Guasmian Water Factory, Guasmian Event Center, and Guasmian International Hotel in Kaduna. The Federal High Court Abuja Division has struck out the application filed by Premier Academy Lugbe seeking to stop the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission from investigating a rape allegation in the court. Instead, the court ordered an accelerated hearing of the substantive suit, fixing it for the 22nd of June, which is the same day the rape victim died 1 year ago. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has asked the school for explanation after it received a formal complaint from the mother of the victim, Vivian Vihimega, accusing the institution of breaching its side of the contract to care for and protect her daughter. Premier Academy Lugbe had in response asked the court to grant it an interlocutory injunction restraining the FCCPC from inviting, summoning, or causing its staff or any representative from attending any public hearing pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit on the matter. Presiding Judge Justice Evelyn Maha, however, ruled that granting the application would impact on the legality or illegality of the actions of the FCCPC, which is a major issue to be determined in the substantive suit. She therefore struck out the application and ordered an accelerated hearing of the substantive matter. And with over 1.6 million students participating in the ongoing West African Examination Council examination across the nation, their counterparts in Sokoto and Zamfara are, for the second year running, unable to participate. This is due to insecurity and other administrative bottlenecks in the sector. Salis Lawan visited some examination centers in Yola, Adamawa, where students who are writing the examination are calling for government intervention to boost education in the region. The report.
These are students of Government Science Secondary School, GSSS Gombe, Sitting for the 2022 June-July West African Senior School Certificate Examination, the school registered 401 students from the total of 19,385 candidates sponsored by the Inwaya-led administration. Some visibly elated students say they were prepared for the examination.
In terms of our performance, I want to tell the governor that we are trying in this school and we are reading, and our teachers are highly qualified teachers who spend their times to teach us and also to study before they come to the classroom.
No, I read very hard, so hard that because I want to pass my exam. And I even spend the whole night reading because I want to score this exam. I'm expecting a very good result.
However, Sokoto and Zamfara State's candidates were not registered for WAEC due to the inability of the state governments to settle outstanding debts. Parents in Gombe are grateful to the state government for ensuring that their children are not left out. I won't be able to pay for my child's exam fee. Without government assistance, he could have been a school dropout. It's difficult to take the responsibilities of his siblings at home and catering for the family. An educationist called on other governments in the region to emulate Gombe State and give priority to basic education by sponsoring students to take part in relevant examinations.
The student may think of spending all these 12 years and at last, in a sort of him or her, to get a certificate that can help them to go to the higher institution, but they are not being opportune. That may provoke them to start negative thinking.
Gombe State government said it is optimistic the performance of students in WAEC will continue to witness tremendous improvement.
That Gombe State, in terms of external examination, we recorded 79.5%. Out of a total of 15,000 students that sat for WAS. We recorded 79.5% of those students that passed WAEC examination with 5 credits, including English and Maths. Minimum.
1,607,985 candidates in 20,221 secondary schools nationwide are writing the May-June 2022 West African Senior School Certificate Examination from Gombe. Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
That was Ibrahim Ismail's report from Gombe. We'll now take the one from Adamawa, where over 1.6 million students participating in the ongoing West African Examination Council WAEC examination across the nation. Their counterparts in Sokoto and Zamfara for the second year running are unable to participate. This is due to insecurity and other administrative bottlenecks in the sector. Salis Lawan, who visited some examination centers in Yola, Adamawa, where students who are writing the examination are calling for government intervention to boost education in the region. The report.
With the recent insecurity in the northwest, northeast, and some parts of Nigeria, education in these areas has been negatively impacted. This negative impact has not only presented a bleak future for the region, but also affected the number of intakes in the Nigerian school system. For instance, the number of over 1.6 million students in Nigeria who are currently writing WAEC could have been higher if Sokoto and Zamfara were able to participate in the exercise. This non-participation has been attributed to lack of finances and insecurity. In Adamawa, Trust TV visited some examination centers where students were participating in the ongoing exercise. Some of them expressed hope of furthering their studies if given the needed support.
I'm writing my exam in Capital School, and so far so good. My exam is going smoothly and successfully. I'm hoping by finishing my exam, I'm studying in a particular university.
I'm from Capital Day Government Secondary School. I'm writing my WAEC. I hope so. When I finish, I want to study mass communication by God's grace.
I'm a student of Capital School. We thank God for the exam that is going on. We thank God for being with us since through just SS1 to this, up to this time. We thank God. Thank God.
And now to foreign news, where a team of Indian officials have met with the acting foreign minister of Afghanistan to discuss bilateral ties and humanitarian aid in what was the first such visit to Kabul since the group took control of the country last year. Poverty and hunger have rocked Afghanistan since the Taliban took power after the United States pulled out, and India has sent food, grains, and other aid. And with that, we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.